Phenomenal Championship Wrestling. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Independence 2. We are live here at the Capital One Arena in Washington, D.C. Alongside me, I have Alec Valencia and the man, the myth, the legend, Charlie Meltzer, as well as PCW General Manager Lavender D. I am not Jackson Law. Obviously, I am Malcolm King. We're going to have to fire that guy who put my little name thing in here as that, but you know, they get us confused. they get us confused. Let me correct this real quick while we're here, guys. How are you, Alec, Charlie, Lavender? How are you guys today?
We're doing good. We had our show last night that actually we had Jackson on with us last night. So he came out to the amusement park with us.
That must have been a
so that was a treat for I think
guys.
Everyone, especially us.
that had to be tragic for you guys dealing with Mr. Law for a long duration of time.
I'm excited for the show that you guys got set up for tonight. I mean, Trey Camp, Flower Princess, Emberlyn, Big Mouth Jackson. I mean, there is a list of matches that you got going on here that is, well, better word, phenomenal.
Mm-hmm.
Agreed. Now, guys, I do have a special guest. We're going to have a few phenomenal individuals, a few phenomenal stars, some ATW individuals joining us here tonight on this show. But our first guest that I am going to introduce, his resume just speaks for himself. He is a junior bench press champion. He is a former tag team champion, a former TV champion. Hell, his resume is just a mile long. He is none other, and rightfully so, because we are here in the Capitol. It is Independence 2. So allow me to introduce the All-American Aaron Crawford.
Thanks for the great introduction. That was good. That was good. Good job.
I've been practicing. I've been practicing.
I can tell. Good job. Way better than the last time.
That is
Way
true.
better than the last time.
Guys, we have 7. Count it on your hands. 7 phenomenal matches that we are going to go over. These matches already took place earlier in the day. Now it's time for the phenomenal talk of these matches. I am going to get the opinions, the thoughts, the ideas, anything and everything from each of these individuals that are on camera right now or will be joining us. 7 phenomenal matches. The first match of the evening, guys, was a very interesting one. Match number 1, it was for the MPCW Loyalty Championship Tournament Round 1 match. We saw 2 weeks ago King Baker advance, Panther advance. Now we have another match in that tournament. This match features Christopher Tragedy versus Mephisto. Let me just give the rundown of what happened, what took place during that match, and then I'm gonna grab some opinions or thoughts from this star-studded panel here over that match. So as the bell rang, both men were throwing fists and connecting with each one. Mephisto finally got a wicked shot on Tragedy. Tragedy staggered into the corner, and Mephisto climbed over top of him on the turnbuckle and hits him with several shots until Mephisto was able, until Tragedy was able to grab Mephisto and hit him with a vicious power bomb from that height to the mat. And let me say this, guys, Christopher Tragedy is not a small individual. He's a very powerful and dangerous man. Mephisto managed to do a roll up. He went for the pin, but Tragedy was able to kick out at the count of 2. Out of this, out of that pinfall attempt there, this infuriated Mephisto. He thought he had the match won. He thought he pulled one over on Tragedy, so he got over Tragedy, and he was hitting him with countless blows to the side of the head. The ref had to restrain Mephisto and get him off of Tragedy to prevent a disqualification here. As the ref was telling Mephisto that he would be disqualified if he didn't comply with him, Tragedy was able to collect himself. He rolled Mephisto up into a roll-up pin, but Mephisto kicked out at 2. Both men get to their feet quickly. Tragedy Irish whips Mephisto into the referee by accident, and Mephisto knocks out the referee. Mephisto was checking on the referee, which is a very odd thing to see from a competitor. But while he was checking on the referee, Tragedy managed to get out of the ring. He grabbed a steel chair. He got back into the ring. He was behind Mephisto. And Tragedy uttered the words, "You will not be making it to the next round." And he repeatedly hit Mephisto with that steel chair, just repeated shots until the chair was just bent out of its normal shape. You could just tell these shots were vicious. They were powerful. They were just devastating shots. Managed to catch Mephisto over the top of the head, which busted him open and knocked him out almost instantly, guys. Tragedy would then wake the referee up. The referee's getting his wits about him. Tragedy hooks the leg of Mephisto. The referee counts 1, 2, 3. Your winner and moving on to the next round of the MPCW Loyalty Championship Tournament is none other than Christopher Tragedy. Guys, based off of all of that, let's start with you, Lavender. Your thoughts on that match? Are you surprised? Were you expecting it? Did the person that you wanted to win that match win? Let's hear your thoughts.
Honestly, I kind of wanted Mephisto to win. I don't know, but I thought it was very interesting to me that Mephisto checked on the ref. It doesn't seem like a lot of our PCW stars check on their refs when they get in the way, so I thought that was very interesting. And I think that this match was hard hitting. It was exactly what I expected. But I'm a little sad who the winner was, because I really did hope that would be Mephisto. I just think that he's got great talent, and could be a great champion one day.
Now, Meltzer, you have a relationship with majority of the Phenomena stars in the locker room. You are, so to speak, a liaison for the talent that MPCW brings into the company.
Yeah.
Your thoughts on both of these individuals? What are your thoughts on the show that they put on for the Capital One Arena fans?
I was impressed by what both of them did in the ring. I was impressed. But I have to say, this new brutal side of Tragedy, especially after that street fight with Emberlyn, he's been showing more and more viciousness. He's trying to get out of his cousin's shadow, and the way he's going, I feel sorry for the next guy that gets in his path.
All right, I agree. Alec, your thoughts?
All I can say is, ow. Listening to those chair shots, although I should be used to some kind of craziness like that coming from where I come from.
Very true.
But it's still, it hurts just to watch it half the time. And then, of course, being the busted open part. That's just, I would not want to be in Mephisto's shoes, although he did put up one hell of a fight.
Especially against a man the size of Christopher Tragedy. He definitely held his own inside of the ring. That chair shot that busted Mephisto open, they're showing a replay here. It is absolutely just horrifying to watch over. Let's get the opinion, though, of a Phenomena star. All-American, you've been in the ring, you've been in situations very similar, reminiscent to the one that we just witnessed. What are your thoughts on this match?
Yeah. Nah, I'm just, I'm actually happy to see that Christopher Tragedy is doing what he's doing. He's actually building his own character. Because I don't know how much y'all know about what it's like to be a Phenomena star or whatever. You have to build your own aura around your character, and that's exactly what he's doing.
I absolutely agree. Now, our next match of the evening, guys, was the second match for the MPCW Loyalty Championship Tournament Round 1. This match, however, was a fatal four-way match. The board of directors, me, Meltzer, Alec, you were in on the meeting, Lavender, CEO Donald Smith, Chris Mack, all in the meeting room with the board of directors. And we wanted to see how this would play out. We wanted to showcase each of the individual talents that are a part of the tag team division on their respective brands. So we saw one half of the Apex Tag Team Champions, Dominator, versus his own partner, one half of the other half of the Apex Tag Team Champions, Gunner, versus one half of the ACW Tag Team Champions, Brockus, versus the other half of the ACW Tag Team Champions, Nikki Hartman. And this just is just to showcase the talent of the tag team division as individuals, as singles competitors. Let me give you guys the rundown of what happened here. All four competitors are in the ring. They have a filling out moment in the early stages of the match, but it becomes pretty apparent that the ACW Tag Team Champions, CTC, and the PCW Apex Tag Team Champions, Gunner and Dominator, are more than willing to work with their respective partners to ensure that one of them walk out with the opportunity for that loyalty championship. Now, Gunner and Dominator gained the advantage when they hit a tandem super kick to Brockus, knocking him out of the ring momentarily. Nikki defiantly walks up to both Gunner and Dominator and slaps them both across the face. Now, let me remind everyone, Nikki had a partnership with both of these individuals, Gunner and Dominator, at one point in time. She was actually a tag team champion with both of these individuals. Gunner...
There is no love lost at all.
That is true. Gunner goes for a vicious right hook, but Nikki was able to duck under and nail Dominator with a spear. Gunner waits for Nikki to get to her feet before drilling her with that fire away, that pop-up powerbomb, devastating move there. Gunner hooks the leg, but Brockus makes the save, breaking up the pinfall at 2. Brockus would send Gunner over the top rope and crashing to the floor with a powerful Irish whip. Dominator gets back to his feet. He charges at Nikki, but Brockus hits a big time spine buster, just planting Dominator in the center of the mat. Nikki climbs to the top turnbuckle as Brockus runs the ropes. Nikki leaps off of the top turnbuckle and nails Dominator with a splash as Brockus hits a leg drop. And Alec, you told me this earlier in the week, as I was doing my research, doing my homework on my superstars. They call that move the cutthroat connection.
The CTC.
That is a devastating move right there. Nikki would then hook the leg, but Brockus pulled Nikki off. Brockus hooks the leg, and Nikki pulls Brockus off. So now it becomes apparent that it's not about the team, but it's about the individual who wants this opportunity. The two of them argue in the middle of the ring as Gunner hits them both with a double clothesline.
Ouch.
Dominator is on his feet, and he executes a schoolboy roll-up pin on his own partner, Gunner. Here's where it gets interesting, and Mr. All-American, we'll get your thoughts on this here shortly. Glory, by the score, played on the PA system, and we saw the All-American with a PCW official race down to the ring. The PCW official that comes down to the ring with All-American would get into the ring and delivers a right cross to the jaw of the original PCW referee, knocking the referee out of the ring. All-American would then grab Dominator and hit him with the American Revolution, that wheelbarrow neckbreaker, a devastating and brutal move. And All-American hooks the leg. The official that came down to the ring with All-American would drop down to the mat and count 1, 2, 3. The winner of this match and moving on to the next round of this tournament is none other than none of the 4 individuals that were originally placed in the match, but the man who took advantage, who understands what PCW is, which is the land of opportunity, our guest here, the All-American Aaron Crawford. So I personally, before I get the opinions and thoughts from everyone else, I personally tip my hat to you because you took an opportunity and
There it
it
is.
paid out for you. It paid out for you. So congratulations to you, All-American, moving on to the final round of the MPCW Loyalty Championship, which will take place. I think I'm allowed to make this announcement. Yeah, I think I'm allowed to make this announcement. That match will take place at Red, White, and Bruised, the ACW Showcase pay-per-view for the MPCW Loyalty Championship. So, All-American, you look like you're chomping at the bit. You want to explain your actions, explain what happened. Let's hear from you first.
See, basically what happened was, I got a little dirt on a few people, went up to management. They were in a real bad spot. I took advantage of an opportunity that they handed to me, and I sealed my spot in the Loyalty Championship tournament. And at Red, White, and Bruised, the All-American returns to ACW and show the GM, the owner of ACW, that they made a huge mistake letting me slip into PCW's hands, because I will be taking that Loyalty Championship.
I am excited to see that match. Lavi, what are your thoughts on this match? Honest opinion.
Well,
Hey,
first
just
of all,
because I'm here, don't be scared. I ain't gonna hurt you. You're the one that signs my paycheck, so.
fair enough. Well, first of all, I like order. I hate run-ins, but I agree with Malcolm in the I tip my hat, because it takes big balls to interrupt a match like that and secure a spot. I think that it was very clever. Like I said, I hate run-ins. I like order, and you messed up my order, so I don't love that. But
You'll get your order at Red, White, and Bruised.
I hope so.
Mm.
But you have some big words. You clearly have your sights set on a belt, and for that, I wish you the best of luck, because our Phenomena Stars won't make it easy for you. But I think this will be a really good thing for PCW, seeing All-American more, and I hope to see you around more and make a history in PCW, because there is always room for more opportunities and more stars to make PCW more on the map, and for that, I'm excited for you to be around more.
You need a better champion, right? Because your network champion's a joke.
Listen,
So
We try not to talk. We don't.
Listen, I like what we have here, and let me just remind everyone, at Red, White, and Bruised, All-American will be taking on. He'll be in a fatal four-way match for the MPCW Loyalty Championship, which had to be relinquished by the former champion Andy Owens, a man that you are very familiar with. All-American, you know all about Andy Owens. So,
Andrew Owens.
but it'll be All-American versus Christopher Tragedy versus Panther versus King Baker. So I'm excited to see that match take place at Red, White, and Bruised. Meltzer, Alec, your thoughts on that match?
It's going to be interesting. I mean, first off, All-American, congrats on pulling one hell of a hoodwink on not only the officials, but the members in the match itself. But second, who the heck did you get to be the real referee? Seriously.
Don't ask
See,
questions.
I was gonna say, but I protect the people who put me in line, set me up for the opportunities, right? Because if, say, I did that, what prevents other people from doing the same thing I did?
Good point.
It's very true.
But with this fatal four-way for the loyalty title, it's going to be interesting. I see the finish in my head pretty much already, but I'm not going to spoil it because I want to see how the build-up goes. But I have my already pick in mind, but I'll let you guys know at a later date.
Miss Valencia, my sister from a different mister, I guess we could say. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, of course. Lavender said order. I'm looking at her like, what is order?
I try to have order, and it just never happens.
Listen,
do not come to
It
me
just
a
never
silent thing, because there's absolutely no order whatsoever.
I was gonna say there's
last
no
night.
order
It
in
was
that place.
scary.
But
Order is boring.
Agreed.
Exactly.
I
That's
agree.
why I stick to the asylum, because I don't know what's going to happen. I'll work with a bunch of crazy people. But All-American, congratulations. And I think you're going to have fun with that match, honestly. Simply because
Congratulations to all of you.
it's
You're
in
welcome.
it.
I saved you
agree.
from having to see the Dominator.
Openator.
Vominator, yes. You did save a whole lot of the PCW universe. Hell, the MPCW
I do
universe.
thank you, Juan. I thank you for saving us from Openator. I thank you for saving us from Gunner. Thank you.
Gunner's not too bad. I give him a hate all the time, but he's actually decent. Dominator.
Oh yeah, I definitely agree with you on this one.
What is he dominating? The losing streaks?
I think he's dominating a chair in
The
the cafeteria
toilet?
next.
The toilet.
The toilet?
Anyway,
Well, guys, match number 3. Hold on, real quick. I forgot to mention this, guys. After that match, Nikki and Brockus they chased All-American out of the ring and that PCW official out of the ring and backstage. I don't know what took place backstage. I don't know if they caught you, if they didn't catch you, if you guys managed to get away, whatever the case may be. You guys were all backstage. Nikki, Brockus, All-American, the PCW official. Meanwhile, Gunner checks on Dominator, who, like I said, that American Revolution, if we could get them to show that move one more time, it is an absolutely devastating move. Like, it puts you out for good. And he got the full, brunt of that move. Gunner checks on Dominator, but they don't see the two men slide in the ring behind them.
Ooh.
One of the men grabs Gunner and tosses him to the other man, who meets Gunner with an ill mind, the reverse stunner. So now we're starting to capture who these people are. Dominator gets to his hands and knees as one of the men nails him with the sinner's judgment, that vicious curb stomp, and the two men get out of the ring and reveal themselves as none other than Renegade's own Jackson Law and Casey Riddle. Now,
Jackson
Meltzer,
Law ruins everything. Every single show. He just
Really?
shows up and is just disrespectful.
Lavi, listen, Meltzer, you and I saw the conflict building over social media between Jackson Law and Casey Riddle and the Apex Tag Team Champions. You actually said something to me in my inbox. You text me and you said Dominator just wrote a check that he probably is going to regret, because listen, Jackson and Casey Riddle just wanted a tag team match. Dominator went one step higher and said he would put the Apex Tag Team Championships on the line against Jackson and Casey Riddle. And listen, Jackson and Casey Riddle, they called their shot. They took it. Now, ladies and gentlemen, before we move on.
Dominator wrote a check. His mouth wrote a check. His butt can't cash, is what you're saying.
Agreed. And before we move on, our second special guest has arrived. Hopefully I give him his due as well. His resume as well speaks volumes. He is a former tag team champion. He is one of the very few men who has managed to beat the likes of T-Wolf and Crisis. He actually beat the former network champion. Jackson would say he had a little help from you, All-American, but he did beat Jackson Law. He is a former television champion. I mean, I'm sure there's other titles that he's had, but his resume, it speaks volumes. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome our current reigning, defending, undisputed MPCW Network Champion, the chosen one, the next level, James Rhodes. James Rhodes is in the building. James Rhodes, how are you, champ?
I'm doing great, but Malcolm, you forgot to say the man that's beating Aaron Crawford tonight.
And he also forgot to mention the trash bag you have over your shoulder.
Wow.
Oh, wait a minute. Aaron's over my shoulder? Where?
Rhodes.
Oh, yeah.
Let me ask you, what did you think? Because now I'm kind of seeing the writing on the wall here, All-American. Now I understand why you took this opportunity. Rhodes, what do you think about what just transpired in that last match? It's Dominator versus Gunner versus Nikki versus Brockets. However, All-American takes an opportunity, which I applaud him for. I tip my hat to him. I'll say it over and over again. Takes the opportunity. He puts himself in line to be the MPCW Loyalty Champion if he can manage to beat Christopher Tragedy, King Baker, and Panther in a fatal four-way at Red, White, and Bruise. What are your thoughts on that?
With the man that spit on the MPCW Network Championship be anything that's remotely loyal? Why is he even in the conversation for that title?
He took the opportunity. I don't know what the conversation was between the All-American and the board of directors, but apparently they approved of it. They allowed it to happen. They made that ruling that the referee made official. Are you? I mean, we already know what happened with the match, but when you saw this news, did it fire you up more to put on a great show and potentially beat the All-American, or were you not concerned whatsoever?
I'm going to be Aaron Crawford no matter what. I wasn't really concerned. If anything, I was disgusted, Jackson. I was Malcolm. I'm sorry. Have
No
anyone
worries.
ever told you and Jackson kind of look like?
Listen,
twins?
my production crew member wrote my name up here as Jackson Law, and Melker
fired
had
him
to
for
fire
you.
him.
But
I
I was
fired him for you.
disgusted and just disgraced. But I can tell you, the conversation that the All-American had with the board of directors, 95% of it, Aaron was on his knees.
You're disgusted. You're disgusted, James. You're disgusted that I did something that you would have done.
It would have
Child,
blown his
Aaron.
brain cell for him to
You're
consider it.
disgusted that I'm going for a higher title that has way more value than your pathetic title you have on your shoulder. And I'm not spitting on that championship. I'm spitting on you as champion.
Can we move on and actually hear more important people talk, Malcolm?
Well, let's jump into match number 3. Match number 3 was a singles match. It was between the mighty mastodon himself, the Mammoth Mayhem, as he took on the former Radical champion, Michael the Angel. Let me just give you guys the rundown of what happened in that match. Mammoth and Michael are in the ring, and the bell rings. The two men lock up. Mammoth puts Michael in a headlock. Suddenly, Blade by Kung Fu Vampire featuring Mr. Gray plays, and Casey Riddle, the PCW Global Champion, runs out. Now, Casey and Mammoth have had some issues that spread from ACW and now here on PCW. Riddle comes out and shoves Michael the Angel into the corner and laid his hands on Michael the Angel, causing the referee to call for the bell, disqualifying the mighty mastodon Mammoth Mayhem. So the winner via disqualification is Michael the Angel. Now, Riddle looks at Mammoth and it hits him with a too late to pray, the Eclipse Stunner, when suddenly Last Days by Onyx plays and the former ACW World Champion JJ Streeter comes running down the ramp and attacks Casey Riddle. Mammoth and Streeter look at each other and they both attack Casey Riddle. Michael the Angel makes it to his feet. He attacks Mammoth from behind. I saw fit because all four of these men are raring for a fight. They want to get their hands on each other. We made an impromptu tag team match right there on the spot. The Capital One Arena. All the fans loved it. They were on their feet. They were screaming. They were chanting. Here's what took place during that tag team match. Mayhem and Michael start out in the ring. And Mammoth goes for a spear to Michael, and Michael gets up quick before hitting Mammoth with multiple times in the gut, then doing an impressive belly-to-belly suplex. It is very impressive. The power, the strength it takes to lift the man the size of the Mammoth Mayhem over your head for a belly-to-belly suplex. Absolutely amazing. Mammoth had enough of all of this and drags himself to the corner, tagging in JJ Streeter. Michael C. Streeter, he goes for a running power slam, but he ducks it and tags himself out. Riddle and Streeter look at each other. These two men were scheduled to face each other right after this match, mind you. And they both begin to attack each other viciously. Streeter gets the upper hand, hitting Casey with a heavy-hitting shoulder tackle, knocking Riddle to the mat before laying big boots on him. Casey rolls out. The ref starts counting. The ref gets to the count of 3. Riddle rolls in and gets up, and he hits Streeter with his own version of a reverse stunner. Riddle tags out, looking exhausted. Michael the Angel wastes no time. He gets in the ring. He starts laying into Streeter, and he goes for a pin, but Streeter kicks out at 2. Michael gets up. He pulls Streeter to his feet. He hits him with a double arm DDT. Streeter hits the mat. He rolls out, giving himself some time. He gets back into the ring. He tags in Mammoth. Mammoth comes in full of power, aggression, just pure anger, pure rage. Hits Michael with the Mammoth, that running power slam. Here's where things get interesting, ladies and gentlemen. The lights begin to flicker as 2 hooded figures make their way to the entrance stage. They slowly walk down to the ring as Michael, on instinct, rolls out of the ring. Riddle, Mammoth, and Streeter look confused in the ring as the hooded figures get into the ring. They reach in their ropes and they pull out lead pipes, and that's where all hell broke loose because these two figures laid waste to the mighty Mastodon, the heavy hitter, and Casey Riddle.
Oh, nuts.
Renegade's music hits as Law and Flower Princess come racing to the ring, but the lights go out momentarily, and when they come back on, the hidden figures are gone, leaving Riddle, Streeter, and Mammoth laid out in the center of the ring. Mr. Rhodes, you're the newest one on the panel right now. I'm gonna start with you. This is the second day this week that we have seen two hooded figures. Now, I know you have no love lost for Jackson Law or JJ Streeter, probably even Casey Riddle, but seeing all of this transpire, your thoughts on this match?
It's obvious who the two guys are. It's HHL and the Mailman. I mean, anyone that's watching, soon we're going to see fucking American flags flying, and we're going to see Sergeant Mayhem trying to make his debut. It's pathetic. What are these hooded figures trying to accomplish just by ruining great wrestling?
I agree. Alec and Meltzer, your thoughts on that match?
I love the impromptu match. I love the tag situation that was presented before us. But I'm curious, who are the two hooded figures?
That's what I want to know.
That's who the two figures were. Were you not listening?
I don't listen to anything that doesn't matter, and that's especially everything coming out of your mouth, Rhodes.
Man, why are you trying so hard to look like me then?
You're the one that tries to look like him.
I'm the multimillionaire here. You're just a cheapskate wrestler that thinks he's important.
Oh my goodness.
I think you're both right. Now shut up and
please
focus
give me
on
a
the match.
5-star review.
I agree, All American.
Well, guys, that is the $1 million question. I agree with you, Meltzer. That is the $1 million question. Who are these two figures? Now they did something that we have not seen ever, to my recollection, to individuals the caliber of Casey Riddle, a world champion on PCW. JJ Streeter, a former world champion, and the mighty Mastodon himself, the Mammoth Mayhem. All American, what are your thoughts?
It was a good match, and the two sadistic son-of-bitches who ruined it are assholes. It was probably James Rhodes and let's see, who'd James Rhodes kiss up to the most? It'd probably
Nobody,
be
because nobody
James
likes
Rhodes
James Rhodes.
and Chaz Johnson.
I would say cross-dresser Michelle more so.
I mean, that'll work.
Lavender, what are your thoughts on what took place there?
Well, once again, I like order, but I loved the impromptu tag. I think it was a great match up until the ending, and I'm very concerned about our security and why they are letting hooded figures come out. Why are we not stopping them before they get that far? Because they've ruined what could have been a great ending. They were distracting and, quite frankly, just not welcome.
Sounds like you need better security.
That's what I'm saying. Like, where are my security? Are they knocked out in the back? Should we be concerned? I don't know, but they're not doing their job, which is concerning in itself. But the match is great.
Is what you get when you hire Cletus as head of security.
Cletus cooks. He does not do security.
Well,
please don't tell me you cook dinner, because I will not eat it, because I know what he uses.
We use
don't want to know.
We did not Uber Cletus Eats tonight, so you are fine.
Okay.
Thank God. We ordered Giovanni's, right, from down the road?
Exactly.
Important people like Alec, Meltzer, me, Malcolm, CEO, we get catering. The stars, they get Cletus. Our catering will always be safe. We do not have to worry about Cletus messing up our
That's
catering.
all.
Well,
And
Here's-
I hope
here's
so
an-
for the
here's-
Peyton Perez.
here's an interesting match because both of the individuals who were in said match are here on the panel.
Ooh.
And
I didn't know Malcolm King and Lavender D were facing each other.
I don't get it,
Listen,
Maverick. Are you kidding me?
let's not
Real quick.
reveal
Um,
let's not reveal the person who's backstage quite yet. Just give me the thumbs up when you want to be brought on. We'll leave that suspense for everyone there.
Is it one of the hooded figures?
I hope not.
I hope not too. But
I want to tell them to do things that nobody should ever tell people to do.
match number 5 was for the MPCW Network Championship. It was a 20-minute time limit match. It featured the Next Level James Rhodes, who's here on panel, and the All-American Aaron Crawford, who is also here on panel. You guys were a part of this match.
James, I was being respectful. I was gonna boo, but I'm trying to be respectful. Something apparently you know nothing about, which is probably why your kids don't like you.
Well,
boy.
well, before we let you guys go at it here verbally for,
Oh, I'm
for
not
a
gonna
few
go
moments,
at it. I mean, the hell with him.
Let's off all
On to bigger and
American.
better things.
let me just let everyone know what happened with this match. Both men are in the ring as the referee calls for the bell. All-American and Rhodes meet in the middle of the ring and they lock up. Rhodes gets the upper hand, pushes All-American into the corner. The ref starts telling Rhodes to get Aaron out of the corner when Rhodes starts to back away and gives Crawford a little chop across the chest and begins laughing at him. Crawford and Rhodes lock up once again. This time, Crawford kicks Rhodes in the knee, dropping Rhodes to his knees. Crawford runs off the ropes only to be met with a super kick from Rhodes, knocking Crawford back into the ropes, but Crawford rebounds and nails Rhodes with a rope rebound stunner and covers him. The referee counts 1, 2, but Rhodes was able to kick out. We saw a little bit of frustration on the face of Crawford as he gets up, and he's looking as he backs away and gets onto the top turnbuckle. He's looking to hit that brilliant and devastating move, the American Sunrise, that Panama City Sunrise. Crawford jumps off the turnbuckle, only for Rhodes to hit him with a super kick. He then hits Crawford with the stop sign, that package pile driver. Rhodes goes for the cover. The referee counts 1, 2, but Crawford kicks out at 2.5.
Damn.
James gets
Can
up.
I say that stop sign hurts like hell? By the way.
Yeah, it looked painful. James gets up. He pulls All-American over to the corner. Rhodes climbs to the top turnbuckle, and he would nail Aaron Crawford with the Roadblock 2.0, that shooting star press into a pinning combination, and that was enough for the referee to count 1, 2, 3. Your winner, James Rhodes. Now, there was a little bit of action that happened after the match. Let me relay that to the people as well. James Rhodes is celebrating his victory when he's attacked from behind by a masked man. Aaron Crawford gets up and locks eyes with the masked man and starts stomping on Rhodes. Aaron would then pick James up and nail him with the American Sunrise. Aaron picks up James again, but PCW security rushed the ring and restrained Crawford and the masked man. So let me start with the panel before we get the ideas.
I'm just going to say one question, then you can continue. Lavender, where was your security earlier? But all of a sudden, as soon as I try to do something, they're right out there.
I don't know what to tell you.
Talent.
I have no idea why my security pick and choose where they're going to help and where they're going to let hooded figures run. Don't know what to tell you. I think after the show, I'm firing all of them and starting fresh because our security kind of suck.
I mean, guys, we pay them, Meltzer pays them $8 an hour to do security. So there's that. Now, Alec and Charlie Meltzer are having technical difficulties here. They'll be back, but let me ask you this question, Lavender. Besides what happened after the match, apart from what happened after the match, what did you think of the showcase that the All American and the Next Level put on for the PCW universe here in the Capital One Arena?
This is the kind of match I expect from every match. Hard hitting, great moves. It was a great match, and it is what I expect all of our talent to be doing in matches. And so, thank you both for being leaders in our locker room that really present what being phenomenal looks like.
Agreed. Now, Alec, Charlie, sorry about you guys' connection. I know you guys are on vacation in your secluded area.
Yeah.
You're here via satellite, so we appreciate you being on the show. So I know how my brother, the CEO, Donald Smith, pays for his internet and stuff, and it's a little shaky. A little shaky.
Just a little. Just a little.
Just a little shaky. But let me talk to you first, Alec, because you're used to the chaos, right? You're used to the commotion and the lack of order. Your thoughts on that match?
I really wanted All American to win.
At least she's honest. My sister is very honest. That's
You grew
short
up
and
with me.
sweet.
You know, if you or Chris Mack or the CEO Donald Smith got out of line, I just flat out tell you to your faces.
Let's be honest. I
You're
just
so
only need that
honest.
match.
I have a question. Did you see Brass Knuckles? Did you see a steel chair? Did you see James Rhodes cheat to win this match?
You know, James, that actually shocked me. I'm glad you brought that up. I'm proud of you. Bud.
I was
I'm
just about
proud
to
of
mention that, Mr. Rhodes. I was going to mention that. Listen, a lot of people have their own opinion about your Rhodes, and I understand it. You don't try your hardest to be the most loved competitor in the locker room, and I respect that because you walk by the path that you built for yourself, and I absolutely respect that. But we did see firsthand exactly how great of a peer wrestler the Next Level James Rhodes is in this match. You and All American put on a 5-star classic match, back and forth action, hard hitting. So kudos to both of you. I second what Lavi said. With you guys being leaders in the locker room and showing that. But Meltzer, you are very familiar with superstar talent. Your thoughts
I am.
on this match?
I am. I hate to say this, but kudos to Rhodes for showing he actually does have talent besides running those bums of his.
Now that you need to wash your mouth out.
But like Alec, I was hoping All American was going to win this to actually elevate that title instead of being in the gutter level. But again, mass figure. That is more of a mystery than how James Rhodes actually knows how to do something right.
Now,
And just so we're clear, I don't know anything about that masked figure, even though I did enjoy beating the absolute hell out of James Rhodes. I was kind of like, yo, dude, what's up? You
Oh,
ain't
that was
gonna
worth
tag me?
paying
Okay.
the money for the ticket for, is watching you kick the shit out of him.
Right?
well, let me just say this, Rhodes, you and a lot of people don't agree with Malcolm King, and that's fine. You know, I am the greatest Insomniac champion of all time, so my opinion matters more than most people in the world. You have done something with the MPCW Network Championship. You changed the name of this title. You've given this title another level, a next level, so to speak, of prestige. You've defended this championship night in, night out. So I tip my hat to you, sir, because you have made it very, very difficult for Phenomastars or ACW superstars or anyone under the MPCW umbrella to take that championship off of you. I mean, you travel to each show. You're on ACW. You're on PCW. You're at the Happy Man
I was in
Asylum.
London 2 days ago, and now I'm in Washington.
Agreed. So I was going to ask you a question, All-American, and you answered that question for me. I was going to ask you if you knew who this masked individual was. You answered that question for the entire world.
No, but he's a big dude.
let me ask you this last question before we jump into the co-main event, Mr. Rhodes. Your thoughts after you win this match, after you're celebrating, after you put on this great match within the time limit. Let's just remind the people of that. It was within the time limit. Um, what is going through your mind? Where is your mental state at right now with this attack that happened to you after your match?
Honestly, why? Why are these hooded figures just showing up out of nowhere senselessly? See, I can't even talk straight because of this. Attacking top guys. I didn't care when it was Jackson Law. I didn't care when it was Riddle or Misery. But they're actually attacking talent. You know, I am the first person ever to hold an MPCW branded title.
That's true.
It's disgraceful. Honestly, if the hooded figure, I say that very loosely because you may just be that ugly and that be your face. If you actually want to step into the ring with James Rhodes, any time, any place, any show.
I didn't realize we were running an NXT level show.
Well, there we have it, guys. Now, it is co-main event time. Let me check with my guests here real quick. Just give me a thumbs up if you want me to introduce you now, since it's the co-main event, or if you would like for me to wait. So we will bring him on after the co-main event. Co-main event, singles match. It features Renegade's own Flower Princess, the Infinity World Champion, with Casey Riddle, versus Misery's own former All Allegiance champion, the Deacon Trey Camp, with the Mammoth Mayhem. Now, Casey Riddle and Mammoth Mayhem were banned from ringside at the beginning of this match due to the events that took place earlier on in the evening. Lavender demanded for order. She banned both of these individuals, both of these gentlemen, from ringside. So it is a straight up one-on-one match between Flower Princess, the Infinity World Champion, and the Deacon Trey Camp. Let me give you guys the rundown of that match. Misery's music hits as Trey Camp makes his way to the ring. He completely ignores the fans as he walks down the ramp. He circles the ring before climbing into it. He casually leans against the ropes, waiting. His eyes are locked on the ramp. Renegade's music starts to play as Flower Princess skips out, holding the Infinity Heavyweight Championship in her hand. She skips down the ramp before sliding into the ring, and she jumps up to the second turnbuckle and holds up that belt. Now, let me remind everyone, earlier in the week over social media, the Deacon Trey Camp issued a challenge to the Flower Princess. He challenged her for her championship, which she declined, and rightfully so. She is the champion. She has that authority. I can't speak for the Flower Princess, but I'm assuming in her mind she just felt that the Deacon Trey Camp did not earn the opportunity to challenge her for said
she was
championship.
scared that she was going to lose the championship.
Or that is
This time I agree with Aaron Crawford.
See,
Can
Trey
I
Camp's
speak-
good.
can I
I've faced him
speak
multiple
for her?
times. You want to speak for her?
You can.
For Flower Princess,
You
yes,
can
she came
speak.
into my office
Oh,
and
okay.
she
That's
was
how it is.
cranky. She came into my office and told me how she didn't want to defend her title to Trey Camp because she just didn't feel like defending it this week. She said she wanted to have a fun match, get some training in, and move on with her life. She didn't want to have to risk her belt. And everyone on the media was talking about she was so scared. And she said she would defend it to anyone at any time. But this week, she just wanted to wrestle for fun and not for gold.
Well,
She was scared.
I will have to agree with the two men that are special guests here. It sounds a little like fear to me.
But that's the world champion prerogative. If they want to defend it this week, she can. If she
That
doesn't
is-
want to, she doesn't have to.
That is very true, Meltzer,
Let's
and
hope
it is
James Rhodes is
definitely
never world champion because it'll never be defended.
definitely in her contract now.
Yeah, hell's
Both,
not going to freeze over, American.
both of them start fighting in the center of the ring. Trey Camp gets a swift punch, but Flower Princess ducks under him. She starts using her legs and speed to stay out of his reach. As Trey keeps trying to reach her, she keeps kicking him in the knees, dropping the big man. As Trey drops down, Flower Princess punts him in the head, a vicious kick to the head. She goes for another one, but Trey Camp moves his head and jumps up, connecting a vicious headbutt to her. And as my brother Chris Mack would say, nobody wins in a headbutt. She stumbles backwards as he gets to his feet. Flower slowly gets to her feet when Trey uses his size against her and lifts her up into the air for a devastating spine buster. He goes for the pin. 1, 2, and she barely kicks out. Now, before I continue this match, if, and it's a huge if, Trey Camp beats Flower Princess for this championship, I think as owners, as management, we would have to put him in a match against the Flower Princess for that championship, whether she wants to defend it that week or not. Moving
There's no
forward,
choice.
agreed. Moving forward, Trey Camp reaches down. He grabs her, lifting her to her feet. He goes for a clothesline, but Flower Princess grabs his arm, spinning around it. She wraps her legs around his head and nails a hurricanrana, sending him into the corner. She charges at him, going for a corner clothesline, but he catches her and hits a power bomb in the center of the ring. He goes for a pin, but Renegade's music starts to play. Trey gets up and goes against the ropes, waiting, but no one comes out. Little odd. Trey turns around only for Flower Princess to kick him in the stomach and hits him with the Royal Stunner, that devastating stunner. She gets him on his knees and nails a second Royal Stunner. She goes for the pin. Ladies and gentlemen, 1, 2, 3. The winner via pinfall, Flower Princess. Now, some stuff started happening.
Damn.
That was smart.
After the match. As Flower is celebrating, Trey Camp hits her in the back of the head. As she falls forward, he waves his hand, and the mighty Mastodon comes running out. Trey Camp sets Flower Princess up into the corner, allowing Mammoth to hit a corner splash. Mammoth hits her, causing her to fall on her face right on the mat.
She won't be defending that title anytime soon.
Is she alive? Is she breathing?
Trey Camp kicks her repeatedly in the side and the ribs before throwing her back into the corner. As both Trey and Mammoth have Flower in the corner, Valhalla Rising starts to play, and that is none other than the Cerberus himself. Sarabai comes running down the ramp. He slides into the ring and immediately hits the Mammoth Mayhem with a Hellbite RKO. As Mammoth lays there, Sarabai and Trey get nose to nose before both men begin trading punches. Sarabai ducks under a punch and clotheslines Trey over the top rope. As Trey makes his way up the ramp, Sarabai would then kick Mammoth Mayhem out of the ring before helping Flower Princess up. Interesting.
What?
He then rolls out of the ring and gets Mammoth Mayhem on top of the commentary table. Sarabai climbs up. He picks the big man, the mighty Mastodon Mammoth Mayhem, onto his shoulders. He looks at Trey, flips him off, and hits the Cerberus Paradox at F5, putting Mammoth Mayhem through the announce table. Guys.
Holy shit!
Holy hell is right. Holy shit is right.
That son of a bitch.
That is true. Now, let's start with you, Meltzer, because you seem to be very adamant into this match. It's a lot of things are happening with this match, and it was an amazing match.
One,
Your thoughts?
congratulations on Flower Princess for one hell of a creative way to get a win. Man, that was actually pretty smart. But What the hell is Sarah doing?
That's
He is
the $1 million
adamantly-
question.
He admitted he hated Renegade, but maybe this new hatred for Misery did something? But
I hate
then
them both.
again, watching him pick up the big man onto the commentator table, that's not an easy feat.
Absolutely not. Listen, we've had a
But
night
then
full of $1 million questions, and if we had answers for all of these $1 million questions, we would all be millionaires right now.
And you're not right now.
Multi-billionaire.
I mean, yeah, I'm pretty wealthy, man. But Alec, what are your thoughts? Let me get your perspective on the woman in this match. How do you feel about Flower Princess? What are your thoughts on how she performed in this match?
Well, first off, most people know that I love Flower Princess. She is probably one of the most entertaining women to watch.
Agreed.
And her being able to take on a man of Trey Camp's size is really, really impressive.
Mm-hmm.
So kudos to her for being able to pick up that victory over Trey Camp. But I didn't give Sarah permission to leave the asylum, but of course Sarah doesn't listen because Sarah's a stupid dog.
That is very true. Lavi, your thoughts on that match?
I thought I was gonna have a dead Flower Princess. I thought after being squished by the mammoth, she was gone. I thought she would relinquish her title because she'd be dead. But she put on one hell of a performance, and this is why she is Infinity. This is why she is the in MPCW, because she's incredible. And I am very impressed with her work.
All right, I absolutely agree with you, Lavender. I myself am very impressed with both of these competitors in this match. Now, obviously, Trey Camp did not win the battle, but so to speak, and metaphorically speaking, he did win the war because he and the Mammoth Mayhem laid waste to the Flower Princess, absolutely destroyed her after that match. Rhodes, Mr. MPCW Network Champion, your thoughts on that match?
Honestly, like to apologize because I feel like me being at ringside distracted Flower Princess, and that caused her to be attacked. And I am so very sorry for all that. But it was a great match. Trey Camp, he's just a lowlife.
Listen. That's what the buzz is. All American, your thoughts on the match?
Oh yeah, it was good, and it was good.
Well, a lot of insight there, All American. Now, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh yeah, no problem. Anytime.
Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to welcome our next guest. Some of you may not know him. Some of you may have heard of him. But this individual is the biggest, the baddest, the sexiest competitor known to man. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome our third guest to the panel, none other than Big Sexy himself.
Are we supposed to clap?
Him and wish.
I mean, you don't have to, Lavender. I don't answer to you. I answer to Malcolm King.
Well, hey,
So you
Sexy,
can sit
what's
there
up?
in your little Lavender D office, do whatever the fuck it is Lavender D does.
I do a lot of work. What do you mean?
I mean, obviously not, because you didn't help me sign my contract.
Yeah, I didn't want to help sign.
Well, I mean, good, because you wouldn't add enough zeros, because you're a cheapskate.
That's how millionaires stay millionaires.
I mean, obviously not, but what would I know? You know, I'm not here for you, so shut the fuck up. Ladies and gentlemen, PCW, what the fuck is going on tonight? Attack after attack, Renegade this, Misery that, and I'm just sitting back like, damn, this is interesting. Malcolm King, what the fuck? Thank you, Malcolm. This is our first time meeting. We've exchanged numbers and emails and all this good shit. and I'm here. And honestly, let's just drop the bombshell now. I want a match. I don't care against who. I don't care if Lavender D wants to put the whole PCW roster against me. I'm here for a reason. And that reason is gonna come out very slowly. All I want is a match.
Well, Big
Hey,
Sexy,
James, could you turn off your camera for a minute?
I have
Just for a minute.
I have a he does want a match. He does want a match.
Oh,
All right, James,
I-
you go back.
I am inclined to give you this match, and it might not set well with a certain individual on this panel.
I mean,
However,
I don't care about feelings. I'm just here to kick ass.
However, I will make this match a non-title match. We had already made the card, but seeing how anxious you are to step inside of PCW one more time, I will make this a non-title match. Mr. Rhodes, I am going to make an announcement.
No!
I'm going to make an announcement. It will be official by the end of the night. We will see the MPCW Network Champion James Rhodes versus Big Sexy versus Shin Dragon in 2 weeks when we travel to Brooklyn.
Thank you.
Have you seen that
Big
motherfucker?
Sexy,
He gonna
if
sit
you
on me
actually-
and squish me in the ring.
Hey, Big
This
Sexy,
is unfair.
if you actually squash him, I will add
Hold
$100,000
up.
to your bill.
Wait, you and James Rhodes look alike, Meltzer.
Yeah, but I'm a lot sexier and I'm a hell of a lot richer.
I didn't say all that.
But like
I said y'all look alike.
If you squash him, I'll give you an extra 100 grand.
I mean, y'all both look like a homeless penguin.
Oh my God.
Homeless
Oh my
penguin.
God.
I don't think I've heard that one before.
Oh my goodness. Well, guys, this is what everyone is anticipating here, and it's great to have you on the panel. Big Sexy, it's great to have you here in PCW. I can't wait to see you in action in 2 weeks' time. Just you and James Rhodes in the ring together at the same time is going to sell tickets. It's going to put asses in seats, so I'm looking forward to it.
James Rhodes in a coffin under the ground, motherfucker.
Rest in peace,
Like I
James
said,
Rhodes.
Sexy, you squash him, I'll add 100 grand to your payday.
200.
200 grand.
The
I
main
would put
event.
100 on it as well.
Holy smokes! Look at that. They got a bounty on you. I'm not sure if they're allowed to say that on camera, so we might have to have the people in production. Well, we fired the production guy, so our new production guy, when we hire him, we'll have to edit that out so we don't get in trouble with the board. But the main event, guys.
Me and him and
And-
you are the board, so that's 3 out of 5. So majority
Listen.
wins plus Lavender.
Listen.
So that's 4 out of
Yeah, majority wins.
Listen.
4 to 5.
Listen,
Can I announce the
am
match though? Just what the match is.
absolutely.
Okay, it is a light tube death match ladder match for the Boundless Championship. Jackson Law and Merlin Cross.
That's why you wanted to announce it. Listen, guys.
Yeah.
We saw this match. Okay, we saw this match, and it was a great match. And I'm gonna let everyone know what happened during this match. But what happened after this match put chills down the spine of 4 of the 7 people that are on this camera right now. And we'll explain why when we get to it. But first and foremost, Lavender, pay All American his damn bonus, please. I asked you to do that a week ago. He still hasn't received it. Pay him his
Pay him
bonus.
yet?
Here's the issue. I sent it. It was in his locker room. I think he just wants it. He hasn't cashed it, and he's waiting for another bonus, and then he's going to cash them both.
What time did it get to his locker room?
He was there. I knocked on the door. I put it on the desk.
See, because
To me, his
that
bonus
locker
was a
room,
dildo.
that locker room that you put that in, Alec, our
Yes.
nephew has been running amok, so to speak, doing all kinds of delinquent things.
Blasted.
Damn it, J.R. Bell.
I
JR
just
might
want
have
my bonus.
taken your bonus. I think I heard him say something about Edwards is gonna love what we can buy with this. I don't know what that means, but let's
He was
talk about
heading
the
for
main
car
event.
bomb, last I heard.
Main event.
He was
Let's
in
talk
a
about
Ferrari
the main
when I
event.
showed up.
Is there a max
Heather?
on how much I can PayPal? Because I'll just send it via PayPal. That way JR can't get it.
10,000 on PayPal is the max.
Listen, Meltzer, I will have you personally meet All American in a secluded place. I'm not going to say it
Thank
on
you.
camera because J.R. Bell is probably watching and he'll probably intercept this transaction.
Yeah, that little Switzer steals
Wait,
2 of my
hold
credit
down the
cards.
road.
and cancel them.
Oh, hold up. You just gave me a text. Okay. Is this where you're gonna send me my bonus?
Yeah.
Okay, at the Lincoln Memorial
Oh my God!
at 7 o'clock.
Why did you say
Tomorrow.
that?
Really, All American? J.R. Bell's gonna meet you there.
Let's
You're gonna have
let's
to change the meeting place now.
If you lose that second bonus, you just don't get it. If JR takes that second one, no bonus. Because we all said don't say the location. And what did you do? You said it. If JR takes it, All American, you don't get a bonus.
guys, let's jump into the main event here. The current Boundless champion and ACW World Champion Jackson Law versus Emberlyn Cross in a light tube death match ladder match here for the Boundless Championship.
You said it wrong.
That's too many
Malkin,
words.
you said it wrong. What
There's
kind
a
of
lot.
championship?
Law and Cross are in the ring. The two go back and forth for several minutes, neither individual getting the upper hand. They literally lay waste to each other with several shots from light tubes, each time causing the light tube to explode on impact. Emberlyn Cross, all bloodied and beaten, manages to get the upper hand on a bloodied and beaten Jackson Law. She sets up a table in the ring and places a ladder and light tubes on top of it. Here's where things
Ooh.
kind of made my stomach turn a little bit.
This is your
Lost-
area, Alex.
Law slowly gets to his feet as Cross is positioned on the top turnbuckle. She rakes the eyes of Jackson Law and pulls him up to the top turnbuckle with her and would then deliver a catastrophe, the iconoclasm, to Jackson Law, causing him to go back first through the light tubes, ladder, and table.
There was so much
And he
blood.
is not moving, guys. He was not moving. Cross was slow to get to her feet, but she realized her opportunity. Cross gets out of the ring. She grabs the ladder. She rolls back in, and Law is still down.
Yeah, I would think so.
Cross sets up the ladder and begins to slowly climb her way up the ladder. And Jackson
Sure,
Law...
come on.
Jackson Law begins to stir as he gets to his feet. He delivers a shot to the back of Cross with a light tube, just busting the light tube across the back of Emberlyn Cross. But Emberlyn,
Oh,
she fights through the pain and continues to climb up the ladder, reaching up for that title. Law would then yank the leg of Cross with enough force to cause her to fly off the ladder. On the way down, Law catches her with the DOA, that RKO out of nowhere.
Ooh.
Cross would then try to make it to her feet, but Law was lying in wait and meets her with the sinner's judgment, the curb stomp, planting her face first on the mat. Law begins climbing up the ladder. He gets to the top of the ladder and he begins to unbuckle the title. The lights begin to flicker again as the same two figures from earlier in the night make their way out to the entrance stage. They run
Where
down
are my
to the
security?
ring. They run down to the ring and they grab a hold of the ladder with Law on it. The two hooded figures nod and they push Jackson Law off the ladder and through two tables that were set up on the outside. In the process of all of this, Law had unhooked the title, but it falls to the ground or falls to the mat next to Cross. It's not in his possession, meaning he did not retain the championship. The two hooded figures help Cross up and hand her the title, and the referee is forced to do his job, which is call for the damn bell. And ladies and gentlemen, our winner and new Lavender
Boundless Championship.
It's boundless.
Emberlyn
Okay.
Cross. Emberlyn Cross, our new Boundless champion. Now
Good job.
this next part is where my spine, Lavender spine, Meltzer, Alex spine start to
I almost
feel a
peed.
little weird.
I almost peed.
I'm not liking this feeling.
The lights in the Capital One Arena go out. A sinister laugh can be heard as the lights begin to flash like strobe lights.
Not
when
him.
the lights come back on, Unhinged is in the ring behind Emberlyn Cross and the two hooded figures. Unhinged delivers a kick to the chest of Cross, knocking her to the mat. Unhinged would then grab both hooded figures by the throat, looking for that descent from heaven, the choke slam, but the two hooded figures fight out of it. They roll out of the ring, and they get their asses out.
Can't blame him.
Unhinged
scary
turns
dude.
and looks at Cross, who is visibly shaken. Guys, she is visibly afraid at the sight of the angel of death himself, the Unhinged.
I almost peed. It was terrifying.
Unhinged begins laughing. I thought so too. But Jackson Law did warn Emberlyn Cross earlier these last 2 weeks that he was going to have a very dangerous individual make an appearance. Now, Unhinged begins laughing as he walks towards her. She gets to her feet with all the bravery in the world, I'm assuming, and throws a wild punch at him. Big mistake, but he catches her fist. Unhinged nails Emberlyn Cross with a want a cookie, the sister Abigail.
Ooh.
Good luck, Emberlyn.
This
I hope you can rock her.
is where I almost lost my lunch. Listen to this, guys. He pulls her to a seated position and wraps his hand around her head. Unhinged begins laughing as he does the topsy-turvy, that neck twist, and right as he does this move, guys, the lights in the entire arena go out. When they come back on, Emberlyn Cross is laid out in the center of the ring with the Boundless Championship laying across her. Little unsettling, a little uneasy.
I almost peed myself. It was terrifying. Not unsettling. It was terrifying.
Was not expecting. Go ahead, Meltzer.
It's not often Unhinged makes an appearance here. And it's plain out freaky. And I don't really want to know why he's here, because the guy's a freak of nature.
I would agree with that. No, it's very unsettling for us to see someone the caliber of him make an appearance, especially to just completely lay waste. Like the two hooded figures, they showed up, right? They show up, they help Emberlyn win this championship. They were smart enough to get their asses out of Dodge. They got out of the ring, they hopped the barricade, they disappeared in the crowd, they were out. Let's talk about the match, and then we'll talk about what happened after the match. Lavender, what are your thoughts on that championship match?
The match was great. I definitely didn't expect us to have a new Boundless Championship winner, just because Jackson is so obsessed with that belt, and they both showed up this week, and I didn't foresee the ending happening the way it did. I was in quite shocked to see how it ended, but I'm excited to see what Emberlyn can do with this belt.
Now, I can't speak for Jackson Law, but I think Jackson Law's focus right now is on Lucille, and Lucille is
Mhm.
who he's calling the ACW World Championship. Obviously, he climbed to the top of the ladder. He grabbed a hold of that championship. So obviously, he still, was doing his due diligence to try and retain that championship. Um, All American, what are your thoughts on this match? Because I don't remember from the top of my head of you ever being in a light tube death match. I know you've been in numerous ladder matches. So what are your thoughts on that match?
You know, I didn't really expect Emberlyn to win, considering when Emberlyn was climbing the ladder, it was like watching paint dry on a wall. And then when Jackson hit the light tube, you know, Jackson's going to take advantage of any little thing he can get a hold of. So I knew as soon as that moment hit, she done lost her opportunity, and it was. But Emberlyn ended up winning. So due to some bitches that.
Big Sexy, your thoughts on that match?
Well, anything with Jackson Law is golden because Jackson Law is probably at the top of the food chain in PCW, PCW, whatever the fuck you want to say as a whole. But Emberlyn is a whole nother creature. You know, she has that methodical standpoint to her, and she's very, very. She's got a couple of screws loose, if that makes a lot of sense to you.
Yeah.
But then Unhinged, that's a whole another level that I don't think she's ready for. As a whole, the match was phenomenal, no pun intended. And these hooded figures, it's interesting, it's intriguing. I can't wait to see what they do next.
I agree with you wholeheartedly. Meltzer, Alec, you guys' thoughts on the match, and then we're gonna talk about what happened after that match.
The match itself was bloody. It was gory. It lived up to my standards, honestly, as the death match.
Yeah.
I was not expecting Emberlyn to leave with the title, but apparently there was a loophole in some kind of scenario that Jackson did not account for, and whether she realized it or not, she took advantage of it.
Let me ask you this, Meltzer, because that's an interesting point you make there. A loophole. You said there was a loophole that Jackson Law didn't account for. Now we're speaking about the same Jackson Law, a very intelligent individual, pretty much always covers all of his bases. Do you think that the issues that him and Emberlyn have had in the past and leading up to this match, do you think that he was distracted to a point where he didn't think of this certain loophole, or what are your thoughts on that?
It's a possibility he did not think of this loophole because of, one, what he's going through with Emberlyn, two, Lucille, three, whatever's going on between Misery and Renegade. There's so much on the man's mind that I hate to see it, something slipped.
All American.
I don't think anything slipped. I think everything went according to plan.
And I you know Law a lot more than 90% of the people that are on this panel. So
I know Law way better than to do the stuff he just did. He would not have unhooked that title on purpose unless he knew for sure that that was going to land in his hands. But you know what? It all plays in his hands because of what happens afterwards.
that is true. Alec, let's hear your thoughts. I'm gonna actually ask you, because this is more so in your realm, so to speak, about the appearance of him.
Unhinged. I will say it because I have a respect for that man. I stay out of his way because I know better than to get in the man's way because I like living.
You and me both.
So him showing up was just kind of a what the hell moment, you know? But congrats to Emberlyn for actually
Agreed.
winning. I think that she was the underdog in the situation with her being against Jackson Law. Jackson Law is one of the toughest opponents for any of these roster members. So for her to actually come out on top is a major step for her.
Agreed. And despite
Absolutely.
despite the controversy, despite how it all took place, at the end of the day, she walks home boundless champion. Levy, what is your feeling? What is your thoughts on this? And real quick, before we jump off of here, because this is the main event, we can spend a little time on this. I'm gonna bring in another guest here real quick. I think he's actually, some would say, employed under you, Charlie Meltzer.
Wait,
Scott,
what?
Troy. Scott, did you hear? Did you see the main event?
No, as a matter of fact, I did, and I just got around right now. I just got to my house.
Well, let me give you a quick recap here. Emberlyn Cross beat Jackson Law in the light tube ladder death match. We did see two hooded figures make their way out to the ring. We did see these two hooded figures push Jackson Law off of that ladder. Emberlyn Cross was able to retrieve the title that fell from the hook with the help of these two individuals. At the end of the match, we did see the Unhinged make an appearance and lay waste, absolute waste, to Emberlyn Cross. So your immediate thoughts, Mr. Troy?
Wow. Unhinged in phenomenal championship wrestling?
Mm-hmm.
That's insane. and how about Emberlyn Cross beating, who was it? Who did they
Jackson
beat?
Law.
Jackson Law. Whoa, that's actually pretty cool too. Pretty interesting, actually. Congratulations to her.
Great.
Kudos to her and everything. Yeah. How's everybody else doing? How's everybody feeling?
I'm trying to figure out what I'm paying you for if you're just now showing up.
I know. I'm sorry. I'm late. I'm a tardy guy.
You're having too much to do before the show.
Let me ask you, Big Sexy, real quick, because you kind of touched on this earlier about Unhinged. Let me ask you a couple questions. One, have you ever been in a situation or in a position where you were face to face with the Unhinged, and what is your honest opinion about what this could mean for Emberlyn Cross? Should she call out the Unhinged? Should she just take it with a grain of salt? Your thoughts?
Well, me, Big Sexy, no, but I have a friend that's been around the Unhinged, and the Unhinged is something that nobody should ever take lightly. Unhinged is a very dangerous individual. Unhinged is the definition of career ending. So if I was Emberlyn, which thank God I'm not, I would lay low. But stupid people don't listen.
That's a good point. All American, your thoughts on same question? Because I know you've had some encounters with the Unhinged. So exact same question to you, sir.
He's back. I don't know how many of you know. I was the first person to bring out the Unhinged. And that is a monster that I brought to ACW, PCW, and MPCW. And that's a monster that not anyone, no matter if you're Trey Camp, Mr. Danger, Tim Cyphers, JJ Streeter, the list goes on and on and on. No matter who you are, the Unhinged is ready for whoever and there's no getting around the Unhinged.
That is very, very ominous. Lavi, what are your right now feelings of what you just saw? Because you represent the females in the locker room. So to see one of your females be just absolutely dismantled in this manner, what's going through your mind?
So, end of match. Let's just start there. I was so proud that one of my ladies beat Jackson Law for the Boundless Championship. That is huge. And that just shows how great our ladies really are. And I was very impressed until the lights flickered. The second the lights flickered, well, I almost peed. I knew she was in for a world of hurt. I knew she was no longer safe, and there was no celebrating to be done. But she needed to get the hell out of there, and she didn't. She didn't have a chance before that laughter showed up, before she was laid out. And that breaks my heart. And if I were her, I would lay low for a while. But the fact that she won is huge. Will I make sure she's okay? Will I pay all those medical bills because Unhinged is crazy? Yes. But I just didn't expect that. I had a sneaking suspicion that she would take the belt. Not sure how. I assume maybe there was alliances that would help her cheat. Just because Jackson is really hard to beat by yourself. But I really didn't expect this to turn out the way it did.
Meltzer, any advice that you could give Emberlyn Cross based off of what happened after her match?
Besides run? Just drop the belt and run? Like All American said, the list goes on to everyone that had to deal with Unhinged. One match in particular, and this is a career-changing match, was last December when he took on Sarabhai. You remember how destructive that match was.
I don't want to remember.
And that changed Sarabhai like instantly. Emberlyn needs to be prepared to cross that line that Sarabhai barely made it across to go against Unhinged. And I seriously doubt she's got guts, the fortitude, whatever it takes to do it.
Scott,
I've seen
Sorry, go ahead, Meltzer. Sorry.
I've seen him go against Crisis. I've seen him go against Hell. Trey Silent. And nothing came good out of any of these matches.
That is very true. Mr. Troy, any advice from you, just being a fan of this business and being a fan of all of these competitors, because this isn't your first time seeing Unhinged, this isn't your first time seeing any of these phenomenal stars, so any advice that you could offer to someone the likes of Emberlyn Cross?
You know, for as long as I've known Emberlyn Cross and I've seen what type of stuff she could do, and I know that she doesn't get scared too easy. She has that little evil side of herself. So even though it's still Unhinged, I would say, I would run Emberlyn. But I just know that deep down inside, Emberlyn Cross, she's not like that. And she's going to just face it like nothing else. And she's just gonna go at it. It's just crazy. I just don't think that Emberlyn Cross is gonna tuck her tail away and run away. That's what I'm saying. From what I know about her. And All American, by the way, I am just a fan, and I'm actually a fan of your stuff too. By the way, pal, I kind of just wanted to let you know that there, just to give you a little pat on the back there.
Thank you. I like your hat.
Thank you. You know what? It's funny because I got a hat from one friend, and then I got a pair of sunglasses from another friend.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, you got friends in some low places, huh, buddy?
Oh, I got friends in low places. I got friends in high places. I got friends everywhere and anywhere. Smarty pants over there.
I mean, did they
That's why
get your
I
outfit?
am
Hold on. Did they get your outfit from the Goodwill? Sorry. All right, I'm done.
Jeez Louise. Listen, guys, my excitement for Independence 2 is out of this roof. Well, it was out of this roof until we saw the Unhinged, and now I'm ready to leave Washington, D.C. and head to Brooklyn, where hopefully the Unhinged will not follow. So,
We need to go back to
Yeah, Hawaii. We're going back to Hawaii.
yeah, you guys, yeah, everyone just steered clear of this states for a few days, and I think we'll all be okay. But guys, what a phenomenal show Independence 2 was. Top to bottom, non-stop action, amazing phenomenal stars in every single one of these matches. Real quick before we jump off of here, myself, I would implore caution to Emberlyn Cross. Congratulations are in order, definitely, because she did do a great and grand feat by beating Jackson Law and becoming Boundless champion. But to get that message with the Unhinged, it doesn't bode well for anyone. And as Big Sexy said, he is the epitome of career ending. We still have to see if we get any reports on her well-being. That topsy-turvy move, it's not cracking your neck. It is a vicious maneuver. It should be banned, and it is banned. And in mainstream, it is definitely banned. But Unhinged, obviously a member of the asylum, doesn't follow the same rules, same laws, same orders. And a warning shot was made. A warning was given to Emberlyn Cross from Jackson Law. She had pushed him to that brink, and we saw what the result of that is. But congratulations are in order to Emberlyn Cross on becoming the new champion. Congratulations are in order to the Flower Princess for winning her match. Congratulations are in order to the All-American for taking an opportunity and writing his name, probably etching his name in history as he moves forward in the finals of the MPCW Loyalty Championship Tournament. Congratulations are in order to James Rhodes, our MPCW Network champion, for retaining his championship. What an amazing night here at the Capital One Arena. But as my brother, Alec Valencia's brother, our favorite guy in the entire world, the CEO, Donald Smith, would say, it is time to cut it out. I am the PCW CEO, Malcolm King, alongside me, PCW General Manager Lavender D. Alongside her, we have Alec Valencia, the General Manager of Asylum Vacation, and the man, the myth, the legend, the superstar god, so to speak, Charlie Meltzer, the All-American Aaron Crawford. Big Sexy, welcome to PCW. Can't wait to see you in action. And the one and only, the true fan of this business, Scott Troy. We will see you guys in 2 weeks in Brooklyn at the Barclays Center for episode 21 for PCW. I'm ready to get the hell out of here.
Red, white, and blue.
Malcolm King, remember, it's Boundless. You said it wrong.
Yes.
There you go, Star.
I'm docking 50
You didn't
bucks. from
say
this
it. You didn't put the emphasis on it. You didn't put the emphasis on
I'm
it.
docking 50.
Hey,
You know, how about we make Scott Troy our announcer?
Guys, did you hear that?
No, I'm out now. Unhinged is on the loose.
Was that a howl?
Sounds like that. Wow.
Yes.
That was a howl.
Let's go. Let's go.
Yeah,
let's go.
it's time to go.
Me.
Yeah, let's go.